Glass is a puzzle. I find it frustrating, I find it mesmerising. And that contradiction is the reason I work with glass.
The characteristics of Scottish glass really are too wide to define in any particular way. I know that there's a huge range of work done by people and very, very fine work as well.
It's a very vibrant community, it's a very diverse community. There's every single type of application, process and method that you can imagine that you can do with glass.
I found a glass community in Scotland is very healthy because they are open to everything, fresh and new cultures within the communities.
The openness of contemporary makers that have been working for years, openly sharing the knowledge, and emphasis on collaboration and how that is the future of innovation.
Collaborating other artists in the same craft field is very important for practitioners and artists, because I always thought that there is some limitation for me to make nice glass art, what I really wanted to make, but now I know how to combine my background, which is the graphic design and glass. So that reason I was able to make the hybrid glass artwork, which looks like a little bit different from contemporary traditional glass art.
My interest in stained glass started when I discovered the really old medieval ecclesiastical glass, which tells weird and wonderful stories. And I love that stuff. That's what I do. I just tell stories through making stained glass.
I'm a copper wheel engraver, and this is a very old technique. It was practiced by the Babylonians 2,000 years ago and hasn't changed very much since then. It's very slow and meditative, but I enjoy that process. And what you're doing really is low relief sculpture in reverse on the glass.
My practice, a lot of it is linked to landscape and place, and it's also often bound up with notions of identity. Growing up in the Highlands, landscape always featured really heavily as part of my sense of self, so a lot of that feeds into my work.
With my work, I aim to explore cultural ambiguity by creating an unhomely object with glass.
I come from a graphics background, so I approach the idea development from a different perspective. I'm drawn to waste material and how I can embellish and uplift discarded waste through different hand cutting processes to make them precious again.
I always say I want to get people inside the glass. The people that I'm most excited with are the people that are curious about how I've made it, what the glass feels like, and what is the puzzle I've managed to solve.
Yes, so as an artist and person who belongs to kid art toy collecting culture, I'm very much interested in how to develop my glass by adopting and adapting kid art culture, and how much glass can more appeal to kid art collectors.
I always work with the human figure, and I think this is because commenting on daily life, on contemporary life, is a very important thing to do, especially with a skill that's looked on as being rather old-fashioned and, in fact, too slow for modern life.
Modern life and the things that are on my mind, things that I see, I'm trying to use that with the huge influence of medieval church glass. So I'm trying to combine basically the powerful colour and brilliance of church glass, but with secular content. I also try and quite often make it a bit funny or odd, just to reflect the funny, odd life that we live.
I've always worked with organic matter, and I do a lot of my own colouring of glass with oxides, but also I work a lot with soil. I've always been very interested in what possibilities are when you're incorporating these things into glass, into the making process. So my work, it's always had that sense of curiosity, material curiosity.
So the representation of glass artists on an international platform is so vital, and I teach so many students and they're at the very cusp of the beginning of their career. And I really feel like I'm beginning to build them up. I know that the work of Northlands Creative is part of that, and the fact that students and glassmakers in the field can go and study on masterclasses, be shown in international contexts such as Collect, really can be at the very formation of their careers and take them on the trajectory where they can be supported and their work can be seen on an international stage.
Northlands Creative is one of my favorite places, and the place inspired me a lot. So I'm very grateful and delighted to be able to take a part in Collect with the support of Northlands Creative.
I think it's very important that our work is seen in an international context, especially a show like Collect, where you get a lot of visitors coming, and that the standard of the glass from everybody is going to be very high indeed.
To have the opportunity to show at Collect this year is really important. The past 2 years have been an incredibly difficult time. To now be getting back to the point where we can show work again is incredibly encouraging.
A lot of us are here working in glass because it is such an amazing medium. I mean, it really is, life-changing to work with this material. You bring it out of the furnace and it's runny like honey, and suddenly it starts to cool down and you're aware of this transition state change. And I think that moment, that kind of interchangeability of the medium is what really captures my thoughts when I'm thinking about glass. And often I look to landscape or different natural elements that I bring into my work to kind of play on that metaphor of intangibility.
The glass making process is highly intimate and personal. Glass doesn't easily forgive you. It is a constant negotiation. That's why I enjoy working with glass.